I know. Lovely. Yes, your voices will be recorded. So if you say something incorrect, it'll be immortalized forever. If I say something incorrect, though, it'll be immortalized.
How often does that happen?
If you ask my wife, pretty often. Okay? Alright? But during math, not as much as when I am arguing with my wife, which I don't do that very often.
You're always wrong. You're always wrong.
You always have to ask yourself, guys, this question. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be mistaken? Alright, so what I'd like you guys to do right now is after you've written this in your journal, we're going to review the properties of real numbers, alright? And we're also going to be reviewing how to simplify algebraic expressions, okay? So right here, I'm going to highlight this 5/6, alright? And then I'm going to make it a little arrow here and an arrow there. Then I'm going to highlight this -1/4, alright? I'm going to put an arrow there and an arrow there. Now, I don't want you to tell me the simplified version, but I want you to tell me the highlighted part. What do you think, which property does this best fit of what we learned yesterday?
The distributive property.
That's right. So this is the distributive property. I'm just going to put distributive. There we go. Now, we're going to do this not the fast way. We're going to do it nice and slow. So in your journal, you understand how to simplify terms when there are fractions being multiplied. Now, technically, you guys remember how to multiply fractions, right? Numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. So if we multiply these numerators together, what do we get?
15.
15 is correct. Over 30x. Okay? 15 over 30x. Now, we can simplify that a little bit further, but we're just going to keep moving. All right, we'll simplify next after that. All right? Plus, 5 times 12. Now, that's a tricky one. Who here knows 5 times 12? 60 is correct. We'll put 60y over 6. All right? Now, there is another way that I showed you guys earlier on in the week where you wouldn't have to multiply everything out. Something that you could do, notice, you could cancel out the 5s, and 3 goes into 6 how many times? 3 goes into 6 2 times, and ultimately what does this reduce to? This reduces to a half, because this 3 would be a 1, so that's another way of doing it, where if you just wanted to kind of see how things would cancel out. Also, over here, 6 goes into 12 how many times? 2. And 5 times 2 is what?
10.
10. Just like 60 divided by 6 is also 10. So there's more than one way to do it. If you like the top times the top, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and then simplify, that's fine. If you want to do it quicker by canceling things out, you can do that as well. All right? Now we're going to go over here. Right here we have -1 over 4 times 2 over x. So if we multiply the 1 and the 2x, we're going to get what? Negative 2x over, remember this is over a 1, right? That's over a 1, so over 4. Now if students made a mistake, this is probably where they made a mistake, because a negative times a negative ends up becoming a positive, all right? And what's going to be in the numerator if I multiply -1/4 times 12y, which we could say is 12y over 1, what are we going to have? 12y over 4. Yes. This right here, you're right. Remember, just like we simplified this one, we're going to simplify this one. So this is going to be 3y. What is -2/4 of x reduced to? -1/2 of x. Now, something I want you guys to put into your journal as you're working this, because this is something that you will come across a lot. I need you guys to understand that if you take a number and you divide it by 2, that's the same as writing it as a half times a number. If you take a watermelon and you cut it in half, that's the same as a watermelon divided by 2. Same concept. All right? So if you see, a lot of times students see x over 2 and they don't, like, what does that mean? That means the same as a half of x. These are the same. Okay? So you might want to like write it down in case you see a problem later on. You know, oh, that's just dealing with a half times something. All right. That's the first step, was the distributive. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I want you to tell me what I did. Here we go. Ready? I moved some things, didn't I? I moved numbers around. By the way, whenever you're moving numbers around, okay, you are commuting them. It's like a commute. So we call this the commutative property of addition. Okay? That's the commutative property of addition. Because what did I do? I moved the x's together. And I moved the y's together. So whenever you're moving like terms together, which property are you using? The commutative property, when you're moving terms. Okay? All right? All right. See if you guys get the next one. I used green. And what did I add to our expression? Parentheses. Whenever you add parentheses, you're grouping things together. Grouping things together. Which one deals with grouping of your properties? You guys want to talk about them yesterday? You're looking at the properties? Say it. The associative property. Yes, by grouping things together, this is dealing with the associative property of addition. Okay, the associative property of addition. Change colors here. Put 0 x's plus 13. Sure, you can write 0 x's. Now, listen, you probably wouldn't do that when you're solving the problem step by step. Probably wouldn't put 0 x's. But I did do something here because I want you guys to identify the property that I used just to go from a half of an x minus another half of an x. Which property did I use right there? So Andrew, which property was it called? The additive inverse, right here. So when you take these and you add them together and you get 0, that's referred to as the additive inverse. All right, now, I'm going to throw another one out here. I'm going to say 0, because 0x is 0, plus 13y equals 13y. That's right. Additive. What I need you guys to understand, on those top 4 problems, I did not expect everybody to show each step and label what they were. This is for your journal to review, just in case you have a quiz or a test to kind of get more practice with it. Okay, like being able to identify what's going on in each step. Now, the final answer for that was 13y. That's the final answer. If you did,
Sorry?
oh, 0
Zero
times
x.
anything is nothing.
0x.
If I'm just letting you know, Blue, if I multiplied you by 0, it'd be unfortunate. Because then you
You would no longer exist.
no longer exist.
Or it would be good.
Alright?
Hey,
It's all at
that
0.
was me.
Right. Alright, so what I'd like you guys to do is go ahead and finish the rest of them and check your answers with each other.